So what I love is music, and obviously we're all events people. So I thought it would be cool to do something that's not necessarily the first of its kind, but sort of do it on a more, I guess, on a bigger level. So what we wanted to do is the first annual Beats Underground Silent Eve. It's basically a New Year's Eve after party. So what I was thinking is it would be really cool to be in a venue with a lot of people, but essentially have it be quiet. And with the technology that they have these days, you can actually get Wi-Fi headphones that are connected and actually have bands and DJs showing. And so everyone gets a much more intimate experience. So normally when you're at a concert, everyone's screaming. If you're at the front, you generally get okay, but it can be blaring. If you're at the back, you don't, the nosebleed section, you hear nothing. So I thought this could be a really great way for up-and-coming bands and maybe a few DJs to come and do a set for like a New Year's Eve party, but also it be a different sort of atmosphere. So basically what I was thinking is Interscope, who is like Beats would be sponsoring the event, and Interscope is owned by Beats, so they would help us provide 3 of the up-and-coming bands, and we would actually buy, we'd get two up-and-coming DJs, one that maybe is a little bit more established than the others. From a social media standpoint, we thought it would be cool to have a 30-second video clip which people can hashtag Beats Underground, and the winners are randomly chosen for the 200 VIPs. The venue itself would be at the Best Buy Theatre at Times Square, New York, courtesy of our friends at our table. The food would be done by Wolfgang Park, who's also at our table, so it works out well. And then Classic would be helping us with our party rentals as well.
So here's how this breaks down. We're in Times Square, it's New Year's Eve, it's expensive. So we're taking our budget and we're charging people to come to our party. So by tapping into local New York radio stations, we're inviting 600 people to come and pay $500 a head. You're at an exclusive party in Times Square on New Year's Eve. You want to pay for this. In addition to that, as he mentioned, our social media campaign is if you post your video and use your hashtag, our Beats promotional team is selecting 200 winners to come and win this trip to New York. The acts that we're going to feature, the twist on this, how it's a silent, is we're using the new Beats wireless headphones. So that's kind of their newest thing to come out. That's what we want to push for them. So everybody in attendance, the winners and those who've bought a ticket, they get a pair of Beats wireless headphones. And then where we need the money is the technology that pushes wirelessly, that pushes the amplification to each person's headset. You can take it off and talk to your neighbor or whatever, but when the music's going, you want to put your headset on because it's the only way to hear.
So the room is quiet other than that.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it's so layered with every aspect of what's going on today, which is kind of brilliant. So.
And then obviously any good event would have a charitable tieback, so we would partner with Music Cares, and a portion of our proceeds, like I said, the ticket sales, it's a hefty ticket price. We need that money, but we're going to go ahead and turn right back around and give that back.
Don't forget, events are the new luxury. That's the big take.
Do you realize what's interesting is that none of the content that we had today was planned. It was all done in the last 30 minutes, and it was pretty remarkable. I'm very inspired by hearing everybody. The ideas are all open source. Hopefully tomorrow you can take some of these ideas, learn some new things, and most importantly, the tables that you're sitting at, make sure that you're exchanging email addresses, because this is called really deep networking. You go to a cocktail party, you don't know who the hell you're talking to. You're working with these people, and so new friendships form out of these things, new groups form out of these things, entire agencies can form out of these things.
What was really fantastic about being here at the Plan-A-Thon was that there was a great range of experience, people that were handling big brand corporate accounts to small mom and pop businesses, and it really gave you a great depth and understanding of what the event industry is doing and how great it is to be part of the event industry.
David, I love my job. I love event planning. I think it is the most incredible, rewarding experience as a career that one can possibly imagine, especially a creative person like myself. Event planners in the industry love BizBash. And they love BizBash because it accomplishes the same thing that this Plan-A-Thon does. It's a meeting of the minds. When you read BizBash, you see what are people thinking, what are people doing, and you know what that does? That inspires new creative thought. So basically it's one idea lending to the next and creating a progression of creativity.